How's it going, everyone? Got a bit to talk about in this video. Hogwarts Legacy obviously had its State of Play event. I'm sure all of you guys watched the event. Just want to go over a couple of notes about the game, a couple things that surprised me. Pre-orders are live right now, so we'll talk some details on that. And boy, oh boy, people are not happy with the latest Gran Turismo 7 update. Not a big fan of it either. There are some issues with this game that Sony needs to remedy ASAP, because the game itself is very good, but yeah, there are definitely some issues. And also, Grid Legends, the Grid Twitter account, throwing a bit of shade. I can respect that. We'll talk that at the end of this video. That was actually pretty hilarious. But first of all, let's talk Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, we had the State of Play event. We got 14 minutes of gameplay of the game running on the PlayStation 5. Visually, it looks quite good. Technically, it looks good. It will be on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and something that I think surprised everyone is it's gonna be on Nintendo Switch. I don't know if this is a cloud game, but it seems like Avalanche is gonna figure out how to get this game running on the Nintendo Switch. Just looking at it, that seems like it's gonna be a pretty mighty feat. I mean, hell, they got Witcher 3 on the Nintendo Switch, but Hogwarts Legacy, getting that on the Nintendo Switch, that'll be pretty impressive. Now, I don't think this is a cloud game because they're selling the game as a physical copy, so I think this is literally going to be a game on the cartridge and you'll be able to play it on the Nintendo Switch. That's a little wild to me, but, like, we'll see what they do. You know, I don't think they'd put it on the Nintendo Switch if they weren't confident they can get it running at a serviceable frame rate and serviceable performance, so we'll see how that turns out. I should also note, over at Best Buy, you do get a $10 gift card with the pre-order of the game, and it is scheduled for a 2022 release window, holiday 2022, I should add. Gut feeling on this one is that we might see a delay on this one. Honestly, whenever I hear holiday of a year, I'm just like, yo, I don't know about this one. At best, I could see this being a November, December game, and that's probably what holiday is indicating, but I don't know, got a gut feeling this one's gonna be delayed, but, you know, maybe that's just me being pessimistic, which honestly, it could just be me being pessimistic. Should also be noted, this is a game that will not be featuring a free upgrade. PlayStation 4 version is $60, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X version is a $70 price tag, so yeah, that's not great, but yeah, you do get a free $10 gift card over at Best Buy. I believe Amazon actually has the price of the game just slashed down to like 58 bucks, so if you're interested, you can pre-order it there. We'll see how it turns out. I thought the gameplay looked pretty good. You know, this isn't a game that was at the top of my list as far as my most anticipated games, but initially all we had to go off of was a brief trailer. We didn't really know much about it, but now that we have some gameplay to sink our teeth into, I think people are going to get pretty excited for the game. You know, it's not something that I'm still completely enamored by, but I could definitely understand why people are super excited, and obviously I'm gonna go play it. I'm sure it'll be a pretty solid game. Hopefully Avalanche does this game justice, but again, right now, my main point of interest is honestly how this game is gonna run on the Nintendo Switch. I find that fascinating, but I do see this game commercially doing pretty damn well, especially if they can get a solid Nintendo Switch release going, and then every other version obviously is probably gonna be pretty decent, performance-wise, and then as far as the game goes, what we saw out of the gameplay looked pretty damn good, so I think they'll be able to parlay that into a pretty successful release, hopefully later this year. Let's just hope I'm being pessimistic, and it does drop later this year. If you do get the PS4 version, you can still get that $10 gift card, essentially get the game for 50 bucks, so that's not bad at all. Alright, moving on from that, because this is making the rounds quite a bit. I haven't talked about Gran Turismo 7 much on this channel, but I did play the hell out of it, and I really enjoyed it. You know, for me, being, you know, not a big car guy, I am really enjoying Gran Turismo 7. I think the soundtrack's absolutely awesome. I think there's something to get into if you are like me and you're just a casual racing game fan. I think there is quite a bit of fun to have, and the attention to detail that they put into the game and all the nuances, I think that's pretty cool. What's not pretty cool, always online single-player component, and always, I shouldn't say always, it is always online single player, but also the microtransactions, oh boy, this is getting a little bit of an issue. There are a lot of microtransactions, and if you want to get the cars, you gotta do quite a bit of grinding, and it seems like the people over on Metacritic are not all too happy about that, as the game has sunk down to a 3.2 user score over on Metacritic. You know, hopefully Sony is on the ball about this, and they remedy this issue pretty quickly. I feel feel like Sony's usually pretty good about fixing issues like this. I feel like any publisher should be pretty good. Whenever a game sinks to a 3.2 over on Metacritic, it's not review bombing anymore. It's people being a little bit upset about the game's aspects, about it being grindy, about the always online component, which that was already evident right from the get-go, and that was always an issue when we figured that out. But the microtransactions, come on, this is a $70 game on PlayStation 5. Like, that is a large price to pay, and in my opinion, with a game like this, I don't even think microtransactions should be included when you're talking about a $70 price tag, but you know, them's the breaks. They gotta make their money, but when you're going this far in with a $70 price tag, remember, Sony was one of the first publishers to bump up their games to 70 bucks. When you're also going all in on the microtransactions, that's gonna be cause for concern, and you're seeing that with GT7. They gotta remedy this ASAP. A lot of people dropped hard-earned money, and a lot of money. Again, $70 is nothing to sneeze at, especially considering these are a lot of people that also bought Horizon. They're supporting Sony and buying these first-party games at a premier price point, but then when you also throw in microtransactions like this, I don't know, man, that's obviously gonna upset some people. The game itself, fundamentally, I think is quite good. I think there's a lot of things to enjoy about the game. I think if you're a racing sim fan, if you are a car enthusiast, you're gonna get really into it and you're gonna have a great time, but these microtransactions are not the way to go. I don't know how you remedy this. I don't think they're going to remove microtransactions entirely, but you should definitely lean back on the game and not make it as grindy as it is. Always online, microtransactions, those are just elements that, for a $70 game, is just wild. Like, when you're charging $70 for a game, it's time to pump the brakes on microtransactions and always online gameplay, and the idea of it being always online to prevent cheating and whatnot, sure, like, I guess you could make that argument. I'm also seeing the argument about Sony not wanting people to play on an older version of the game, but, yeah, there's a lot of issues with the GT7 right now, and honestly, like, for 70 bucks, like, do you buy the game right now? You can have fun with it. It's an enjoyable racing sim. I got my money's worth out of it. I sunk a lot of time into it, and I had a great time with it. But if you're a real big enthusiast with the game and you want to do all the content, you want to get all the cars, it shouldn't be this kind of grind. And you're also talking about the game underneath it all is quite good. Gameplay, again, as a racing sim and me not being a big fan, I had a lot of enjoyment out of it, but I could definitely understand, you know, we're dropping a premier plus price point, so to speak, and yeah, those elements should not be in it. Again, we knew about the always online going into the release, but now it's getting way too much. And I would also throw out Grid Legends tweeted out, Grid Legends is a video game with cars in that you can play right now. They just tweeted that out this morning, so you know what, good for them. When I looked at Grid Legends, I was like, yo, the issue with this game is it's coming out right around the same time as GT7. This game is going to get swept under the rug, but guess what? Codemasters has been relatively consistent with dropping a lot of games, and it seems like they always do pretty well, and they make their money back, and it's not like they got to do wild things for that to, you know, actually happen, but, yeah, there you go. Grid Legends is not a game I've played yet, but maybe at some point I'll check it out. There's just way too much to play right now, but I thought that was an interesting tidbit as well. Leave links to everything in the comment section down below. Again, unfortunate news with GT7. Hopefully Sony is on the ball with that and fixes that up ASAP. In the case of Hogwarts Legacy, pre-orders live right now. Game is looking pretty good. Let's see how that Switch version runs, because I'm super interested in that. But nonetheless, that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.